Listen to your heart, tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. If you just believe, 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 Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. You just believe. You just believe. You just believe. You just believe. Listen to your heart. 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 Tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. You just believe. 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 Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. You just believe. You just believe. You just believe. You just believe. Listen to your heart, tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. If you just believe, 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 you just believe,
Yo, people, welcome back to the Transfer Show, or I should say welcome to the Transfer Show. This is a show we are going to be bringing you regularly, at least for the remainder of the season. We're going to bring it whenever there's kind of news popping off, and then during the transfer window, when that's open, we may do it daily, because at that point we're looking for content, aren't we? We're looking for shit to talk about. So we're going to do it today anyway, and talk about the rumors that are circulating the internet right now. We want you lot to get involved as always. We're going to have discussions, we're going to have debates, we're going to throw names out there, we're going to look at links, outgoings, incomings. We're going to just do general transfer talk, yeah? No, we're not going to be too arsed about concrete journalists and, tier one sources. We're just going to have fan-based conversations. What do the fans think? The voice of the people. So the chat line that you're looking at below this, that is your opportunity to get your thoughts in. And we will call you smart, or we'll call you an idiot based on what you come up with, okay? I think that's fair. Big up Nayballs. Big up Mr. Fro in the chat. Big up everybody joining us. Make sure you've hit that big thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new around here. And right, let's start with Bernardo. Let's just start with the names and the title, and then we'll talk about the general stuff. Big up Dashmesh. Big up everybody, or Dashmesh. Big up everybody joining us. Let's start with the Bernardo stuff, because of course that is the closest to home, really, isn't it? It's the most It's the most likely of anything to formalize. Bernardo linked with exits for years now. I'm genuinely sick of it. We gave him a contract extension, but the contract extension was caveated just so he could get a release clause in there. He has his release clause, £50 million. Someone has to take it. Someone has to pay 50 mil for Bernardo. If no one out there pays 50 million for hang on. Too high. If nobody pays 50 million out there for Bernardo Silva, I lose my faith. I lose my faith in European and world football. It's an absolute bargain. It's the best. He's a 130 million pound player in today's market, Bernardo Silva. So if you can get him for 50, which you can, I suggest you come and get him. Now, obviously, Barcelona, desperate to get him. The word this morning from some Spanish journalist says Bernardo Silva is crazy about joining Barca this summer and is willing to reduce his wages to do so. Wow. The Man City midfielder feels he will fit in perfectly, and should Barca get back at 1-to-1 with a good sale, they can make a move for him. Once again, the 1-to-1 rule is a framework in which it can have the capacity to return to the transfer market. That is, each euro earned in transfers can also be used without restrictions to make contracts. So, to dumb it down, whatever you earn from transfers solely, so there's nothing to do with commercial revenue or sales or anything like that, just whatever you earn from selling players in this, the football player transfer market, you can then go and spend that exact amount of money on players to buy in. So they need to sell to buy Barca. They're in dire straits financially, but they obviously want Bernardo Silva. The word has been for a while anyway, over the course of the last few international breaks, that Bernardo has been speaking to Cancelo a lot about Barcelona, asking him a lot of questions, trying to see Wagwan out in Barcelona, and should he come, should he not. I know they are very good friends, Bernardo and Cancelo. I'm pretty sure they lived in the same apartment block in Manchester. They're very close. They always have been, so you can imagine Cancelo saying, come to Barca, come to Barca. But look, they owe us money for Ferran Torres still. They're going to have to find 50 million to get Bernardo Silva. I think if they can find the 50 million, it's nailed on. He goes. But as of today, Madrid have joined the race. I don't have the actual article. It's on City Extra's Twitter page. One of the lads at City Extra wrote an article about it. Madrid have joined the interest to sign Bernardo Silva. First of all, look, he walks straight into the Barcelona team. Does he walk straight into the Real Madrid team? Less likely. I think he could do. It all depends on what setup Ancelotti wants to go with. They currently have Camavinga, Valverde, they have Kroos, they have Modric, they have Bellingham, they have Tchouameni, they have a star-studded midfield. You have Rodrigo out in one wing, Vinicius on the other wing, Mbappe's probably going to come in. Where is he a guaranteed starter in that Real Madrid team? I don't know. But look, listen, Joe, both Barca and Real Madrid in for Bernardo. I think he's gone. I think it's done. I held a bit of hope there about a month or two ago that he may stay. I think it's done, and I think we have to gracefully allow it to happen. Open arms, say, listen, pat in the back. You're probably a club legend. Everything you've given to us for 7 years, whatever. But look, 50 million for one more year out of you is what we agreed on, and I think it's time.
I wouldn't say it's set in stone that he's gone, just because I don't know. Like, it's only 50 million, but he's only moving because he wants to be closer to home. So the only place closer to home is Spain. So it is a Spanish club that he's eyeing up. I don't think he goes to PSG or anything like that, because that doesn't get him what he wants. He's not going to be more competitive, and he's not going to get closer to home, which is, what's been going on for years. So I wouldn't even say it's set in stone, because Barcelona, right, for one, you can pay us the rest of that 50 million that you owe us for Ferran Torres before you even talk to us. And for two, you could take Joao Cancelo off our hands.
We have this weird fetish for Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? We have this weird love for them where we allow them to just take the piss when it comes to transfers. We allow them to bitch us up. City are soft in the transfer market. Look, I don't really care because it's not my money, right? I don't, as LB says, I don't support a bank. I'm not too arsed about figures. I'm not too arsed about how much players cost. I'm not too arsed about that side of the game. But City are soft when it comes to transfers. I could see them allowing Barcelona to be a little bit shady about it.
Well, they haven't been soft with Bernardo Silva, have they? We say we don't hold players hostage. We've basically held him hostage for about 4 years. Like, this is the one player that for some reason we haven't like bent over backwards and just accepted our fate in this one. The closest it's got is now because he's got a 50 million release clause, which is absolute peanuts. It's absolutely nothing for a player as good as he is. But again, can Barca really afford to do it? I mean, as for right now, no, they do need to sell to buy. That's what people are saying. So, who do they sell that's worth 50 million? Like, if it's a 1-to-1 scale, who do they sell that's worth 50 million? Who's going to buy a player off Barcelona for 50 million? Like, who's on the chopping block, essentially? I don't really see any outliers that raise them funds. They might have to sell 2 or 3. You never know, because you look at the makeup of that Barcelona squad, a lot of them players in there are old or free agent signings. You know, there's not really too many, unless they're going to sell an academy player. But then again, they're going to have to sell someone half decent if they want to get 50 million. It's the Madrid one that's kind of thrown me off because, I mean, most people viewed that Champions League quarter-final as essentially the final of the Champions League. A lot of people thought whoever got through between us and Madrid was going to go on and win the Champions League this season. It'd be absolutely disastrous if we then go and hand a Real Madrid side that's just beaten us and knocked us out Bernardo Silva on a silver platter, 50 million. That'd be an absolute disaster.
Yeah, but there's a limited pool. There's a small pool of clubs in which Bernardo Silva can and would go to, and unfortunately, our direct challengers for Champions League, like, we're probably just going to have to firm it that he's going to go to somewhere that will probably compete with us for European trophies. So it kind of is what it is. Guys, there's 40 in the building. Make sure you've all hit that thumbs up button. Let's get the likes up, man. The likes are low. The likes really help. But then, yeah, look, Real Madrid, I don't know if he'd be interested in going to Real Madrid. I think there's too many players to compete with. If Barcelona have to sell to buy, I think there's a couple of players that they could sell. I think Rafinha's one who would probably raise 50 million. I think Frankie de Jong. If I was Barcelona, I've watched Barcelona a fair bit this season. He's injury riddled. He's struggling. They could easily get 50 million for Frankie de Jong this summer. Someone is paying 50 million for Frankie de Jong. And then to straight buy, you're getting a more reliable and versatile and quality player in Bernardo Silva. But we got to replace him. We know all about the Paqueta situation. We know all about Musiala. I mean, Musiala is a pretty good replacement for Bernardo. Paqueta is a pretty decent replacement for Bernardo. I mean, can you directly replace Bernardo? Probably not. He's a highly underrated player because he doesn't get the GNA that people want. But it is what it is. Frankie de Jong is washed. I don't rate Frankie de Jong, Elder. I don't rate him like that. He doesn't hit me like that the way a top European footballer does. I think he's totally overrated. I think he's hyped up. I think it's a case for me a typical Barcelona Real Madrid signing. It seems to be that anybody who ever signs for Barcelona or Real Madrid, the world immediately covets as a world-class player. It must be brilliant. Jude Bellingham falls into that category for me. I have no doubts whatsoever that Jude Bellingham is a very, very good player with a really high ceiling and a really big future in the game. But is he that guy right now? No, he's not. No, he's not. Watch him for Real Madrid. Watch him in the Champions League. Watch him in La Liga. I watched that whole El Clasico game on the weekend, people. The whole game, yeah? Bellingham was non-existent. Non-existent for until literally the last minute where he scores the winner. And I can't argue with the kid at that point. He's scoring the winner in El Clasico again. But if you're talking about overall play and overall impact to the game, it was non-existent. So people are gassing up players who signed for Real Madrid and Barcelona because they're playing for Real Madrid and Barcelona. And I get that. Established institutions, big powerhouses, plenty of European success. I get it. But Frankie de Jong, you, my friend, you fall in that category of players. I just don't rate like that. So if I was Barca, I'd cash in on Frankie de Jong and I'd go and pull the trigger on 50 M's for Bernardo Silva. You can get him right here, right now. This summer, he's yours.
I mean, we saw the other week, didn't we? Because we had a little Google just one night. Wages. Frankie de Jong's the highest paid player in La Liga. He's on like 700,000 euros a week. So it's going to take some absolute fucking madman type wages for someone to offer him, for him to probably leave Barcelona. He's living a comfy life. 700 bags a week. Are you mad? He might just go, nah, I'll see out my contract. I got loads of money. So I get your point. They should probably move on from him because realistically it's been a failed experiment, hasn't it? Like, it just hasn't worked. It's not been like a signing that's brought them success, and he's a big money maker for whoever wants to buy him. The only club stupid enough I could see that are willing to pay him anywhere close to 700 bags a week is like Man United. They'd do something stupid like that. Maybe PSG because they throw money about, or they used to throw money about. PSG have been a bit smarter recently, moving away from your Neymars and Messis and Ramos, all these big name Galacticos and all these other players, and actually move more towards a squad. So maybe not even PSG, but it's a Man United signing written on giving Frankie de Jong like 400, 500 grand a week, isn't it?
That's double Foden, as Neighbours. It's triple Foden.
it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous amounts of money. That was before they went in debt and they had massive contracts. It's the highest paid player in the Liga on 700 and something thousand euros per week. It's ridiculous, like how he's the highest earner in that league. I mean, some of the other wages in the Liga are ridiculous, but the fact that Frankie de Jong is the highest earner in that league, he's probably one of the highest earners in the world. Like, it's crazy.
Easily one of these. He'd be in the top 10, top 15, top 10, top 12, I'd say, comfortably highest earners in the world. And look, from his perspective, he'll dig his heels in. He'll say, I'm staying here. I'm collecting my 700 bags a week, and so on and so forth. But look, it's up to Barcelona to find a way to ship him on. That's if they want to ship him on. Maybe they're happy with him, but I just don't rate him. And you've got Bernardo Silva saying, if true, he would take a pay cut to sign for Barcelona. I mean, look, for a club struggling for money, you're getting a better player for, a fraction of the wages and for 50 million. Look, I don't need to sell Bernardo Silva to you. I don't need to pitch Bernardo Silva to fucking Barcelona. But for God's sake, he's 10 times the player Frankie de Jong is. He's better than anything they have right now. Let's be real. Bernardo is the best player at Barcelona if he goes there right now. Who else is up there? I like Lamine Yamal, 16 years old, very, very good player. Pedri, very good, not Bernardo's level just yet. Gavi's injured, maybe could get to Bernardo's level in the future. Rafinha, no. Who else is there? Bernardo is the best. Lewandowski's there, maybe for Ferran Torres, no. Bernardo is the best player.
Torres.
No,
I haven't heard you just say that. I haven't heard you just say.
Sorry, I meant maybe Lewandowski. Not maybe Ferran Torres. Maybe Lewandowski, not Ferran Torres. Okay, Gundogan probably not at this stage. I watched Gundogan a few times this season for Barcelona. He won't be able to. He's not going to offer them what Bernardo Silva can offer them. That's a fact. Bernardo's younger than Gundo, so it's just bit common sense. Pedri or Kubarasi, they have some very good young players, Barca, but none of them with the experience, the impact that Bernardo will bring right now. It just makes total sense to me. Linny, you're crazy. Gundo's not overrated. Absolutely crazy. Guys, 50 people in the building. Hit that big thumbs up button, man. Come on, man. Hit the thumbs up button. It helps me and Joey Boy massively. And subscribe if you're new. So yeah, that's kind of Bernardo Silva. I don't want him to go. Look, in an ideal world, he stays. Is it an ideal world he stays? He signs a new contract. But, logic would suggest that with a 50 million release clause, he's going to go. Surely someone pays a 50 million release clause that, if I'm not mistaken, it's only active this summer, Joe. Am I right in saying that?
Oh, it beats me, to be honest. I just know he has the release clause. That's all I know about it. But if it is just a one summer thing, I mean, it might be, because the contract extension was only plus 1 year, wasn't it? It was only an additional year and a release clause. So I don't know, maybe it's for the rest of the contract. To be honest, I don't really care. I just want it over with. Like, it's just if he's going to leave, then leave, innit? Find someone with the money. Or if at like the 5th or 6th time of asking, Barcelona still can't afford you, if they haven't managed to, Klarna it or put enough money to the side over 6 years to come and buy you, then they just deep it, you're going to stay. That's all I want. You either got to, firm the fact that you're going to have to stay because they can't afford you, or just Barcelona come pay the money. Like, I don't want none of this. It comes to the summer. You've got, but he wants to leave. I don't care what he wants. Like, there's a lot of things I want, right? But none of that matters.
Yeah. No, they don't.
Exactly.
He's one of only
like,
two. He's one of only two players in our whole squad to have a release clause. So we don't really do release clauses at Man City, at least not very regularly. So we moved mountains. We moved mountains to keep Bernardo Silva. We gave him the 1 year extension, but it was kind of a 1 year extension to keep him at the club for one more year. It was like, we want him in the squad for one more year. He's worth that. And then as his reward for that, he got a 50 million release clause. His contract's up in 2026. And like I say, he's one of only two to have a release clause. It's only himself and Haaland have release clauses. Everybody else, no release clause, no release clause, no release clause. So surely to God, this is the year it happens. I think it has to happen. I think, look, get the 50 million for him. Go and find your replacement. Go and find your Paqueta. Go and find your Musiala, whoever needs be. We need to put an end to the saga. Because I'm sick every summer, every January of hearing the latest rumor or how unhappy he is, how unhappy his missus is, how unhappy that person is. If he's going, go. Bring someone who'll pay 50 million. Last summer, it was, look, you're worth 90 to 100 million, whatever it is. Bring someone who'll pay the money and you'll probably be able to go. Now it's find someone who'll pay 50 million and you can go. It's getting easier. You know what I'm saying? Get your agent to tell Barca or Madrid, whoever, to cough up. I'm at a point now where, look, I'm focused on Manchester City. I want the best for Manchester City. I want players who are locked in at Manchester City. I want players who are hungry to play for Manchester City. If Bernardo's not fully into that and he's not going to be happy being with us past this summer, it's not for us. Can totally appreciate and love Bernardo for everything he's done up to now. But we now have to focus on what's best for us over the next few years. Is that with or without Bernardo Silva? You know, it's up to you. Nayballs, the way Pep has treated Silva is very different to anyone else who has acted this way. It is. I mean, if Cancelo acts this way, he's gone. If anybody else generally acts this way, they're gone. Ferran Torres acted this way, gone. Sané, gone. Anybody who acts this way, but Pep knows how good Bernardo is and how important he is to us. So he really tried to keep him, and he has kept him. But I think it's a tipping point now. Just let him go, man.
Yeah, I'm sick of it because it's just so tiring to. I mean, just from a content perspective as well, just like the stuff that we do. We spoke about during the summer when there's no football on, trying to do transfer shows and all this other stuff. I would genuinely rather do anything else with my time than talk about Bernardo Silva every day for weeks on end. I don't want to do it because we've been doing that for years. Going, will he, won't he? Come back next year and find out. Will he, won't he? Come back next year and find out. It's tiring. I don't want to think about it. I want to think about next season. You know, when this season ends, I want to think about what next season looks like. New players we're bringing in. Maybe even a new system. You know, stuff like that. The progression of certain players. Doku. Players like that. Oscar Bob. Rico Lewis. That's what I want to think of. I don't want to spend my days thinking, are Barcelona going to pull the trigger now? Are Real Madrid going to come and pull the trigger? I don't want to think about that. It's annoying.
Oh. We need clarity, man. You just need. We need. Pep needs clarity. We need clarity. Everybody needs clarity. Who's in the squad? Who's leaving? And get it done early. I don't want any of this business coming down to the last day of the transfer window, the last week. Is he going? Is he staying? If he's staying, we don't need a replacement. You know, if he's going, shit, we need to go and find a replacement in panic stations type thing. Everything needs to be calm, coordinated, and make sense. So, look, the Bernardo Silva thing, I'd love him to stay in that, but I only want him to stay if he's locked in. I only want him here if he wants to be here, not if he has one eye on the new camp and one eye on the Etihad, or, you know, chatting to Cancelo about being over there, what's it like over there. No, mate, if you're a City player, you're a City player, and you're staying and you're playing. Simple. So look, we'll leave it there with Bernardo Silva. Make sure you've all hit that big thumbs up button, man. 50 people here. It really, really does help when you guys hit the thumbs up button. So do that, please. Subscribe if you're new around here. Please become a channel member if you wish. Let's move on. The latest of the rumoured incomings is Ferland Mendy, left back at Real Madrid, of course. He generally starts for them at left back. It's kind of rotated between Camavinga and Ferland Mendy, isn't it? Mendy has played 32 games this season for Real Madrid in all comps with 1 goal. And they're all out left back, of course. An out-and-out left back, a decent player. Do we need Ferland Mendy off the bat right now? No, we don't. If we plan on keeping Nathan Ake and Josko Vardiol, we don't need Ferland Mendy, and he's also very different to anything that we seem to sign now on the defensive side of things. We seem to sign defenders that can play both centre half and left back. Ferland Mendy is strictly a left back. He does not play centre half. He does not move anywhere other than left back. Does that appeal to Pep Guardiola at this stage of his evolution? Not really. What would Ferland Mendy cost? according to Transfermarkt, which is, it's not accurate, but it'll give you a ballpark of where what he's worth. It says 20 million euros. So you're looking at about 15, 16 million pounds. You'd imagine if Real Madrid are going to sell him to us, they'll put a premium on top of that because it's us and we're direct competitors with them for European Cup, so they won't want to give us anything cheap. I prefer Vardiol and Ake, if I'm in all honesty, but is Ake going to go? I have heard some rumours that there's interest in Nathan Ake. That doesn't mean I think he's going, but I've heard there's interest in him, and some clubs are sniffing around Nathan Ake. And I think Pep favours Vardiol right now. I think right now Pep favours Vardiol, and Pep sees the future of that left-hand side belonging to Josko Vardiol. I don't know, Joe. Ferland Mendy and our left-hand sided situation, it seemed pretty stable to me until this kind of came out, and I'd heard a few bits about Ake.
I think the Ake stuff is complete and utter nonsense. I don't know where it's come from. I don't understand how you look at our most consistent defender last year, and then pretty much until he got injured as well, and Akanji started playing, our most consistent defender this year. Did he or did he not sign a new contract? Am I remembering rightly? Nathan Ake? Did we offer him one? He did?
Yeah.
So we tied him down. I don't know. I don't think Pep's in any rush to get rid of him. He just hasn't played recently because he's been injured. That's it. The only reason Vardiol's been great, recently. But why has he got the opportunity to play recently? Because Nathan Ake got injured and he took his chance. And that's sometimes what happens in this squad. You get a chance and someone takes it and they, nail down that place. Look at last season with the way Cancelo left. Rico Lewis got a chance. He took it. Cancelo, gone. See you later. Pack your bags. Kicking off. Bye. Like, sometimes that just happens with players. Players get an opportunity, and if they take it, right. Like, that's what has happened with Vardiol. I don't think they're in any rush to get rid of Ake. Versatility. Can play in the middle. Can play on the left. Same thing with Vardiol. The only reason I think we'd sign Ferland Mendy is if we were going to play with actual, fullbacks. Like, proper fullbacks. Like a high fullback. I know Vardiol has done that at times where he's high and wide because, he has the physical capabilities to do it, but, it's a bit lopsided because you can't really get Walker to do that because he can't cross a ball. So the only reason I'd see Ferland Mendy is if genuinely there's a plan in place next season. There is a system that we are going to use that requires a certain type of fullback. Because I don't see any other reason to do it. I don't think if we're going to continue with this whole centre-back three and another person in midfield, I don't see where Mendy fits. I really don't. I don't think it's a better than what we have now, certainly at least. I don't see the reason. I think it's a bit of a waste because, like you said, his market value might not be the highest, but Real Madrid, again, given the fact that we have direct competition, they're going to put a premium on it. It's going to be more than we should be paying just because of who we're buying off of. So I personally don't see. It's interesting to see the links because it's been a few years since we've been linked with a proper left back. What was the last one? Cucurella was the last left back we were properly interested in, but Brighton didn't budge. We ended up with Sergio Gomez, and that experiment just completely failed. So I wouldn't say we're in any rush to sign a proper fullback. If anything, we need a fullback on the other side because there's a lot of questions about Kyle Walker. A lot of questions.
I'd probably sell Kyle Walker this summer, in all honesty, if a decent offer came in for him. Total respect and admiration and appreciation for everything he's done, but I'd cash in. If we got a 30 million offer from somewhere like, I don't know, Bayern Munich again or wherever, someone interested, I'd probably sell Kyle Walker, if I'm being totally honest. I don't think he's what he used to be. He's had probably his worst season in a Manchester City shirt. He's not taken well to the captain's role. That's just my personal opinion. People would disagree, but it is what it is. I'm looking at Mendy's transfer market. In his whole career, he's played 295 games, 266 at left back, 2 at centre back, 4 at right back, and 12 at left mid. So he's not a versatile player. Very little experience in anywhere other than left back. So I don't know. Look, I mean, where do you stand with Kyle Walker, Joe? Like I say, I don't know what you think, but I think he's had probably his worst season. He's really struggled physically at times. He looks off, it's slow on the ball at times. But then again, he has had good moments. He did decent against Vinicius in the foot races, as to be expected. but his out and out defending hasn't been great. And then going forward, I think he offers almost nothing. It's actually a waste, and I think it hinders the overall attack. I think it damages. I think it adds to the problem that I speak about a lot with Erling Haaland and not giving him service. When you've got Kyle Walker as one of his main service providers with crosses, it's no use, man. It's not good.
I don't have too much issue with keeping Kyle Walker. It's just what we do if we're going to keep him that has to change. I mean, for one, he can't start every week. He can't start the big games. He just cannot be relied upon at the moment. You know, the big Premier League games. As a specialist, if there's a certain task, a man-marking job, a Vinicius, an Mbappe, or whatever, we're probably going to be playing for the same club next season, which can be terrifying. But if that, situation happens, then I'm okay with Walker playing, because we saw against Real Madrid, after he'd shaken off the ring rust in the first half, the second half and extra time, he was pretty good. So he still has things to offer, but it needs to change. If we do a captain's vote next season, Kyle Walker cannot be voted captain. I'm sorry, he's an absolutely horrendous captain.
But can you take it off him?
If he wants to stay, then he has to accept it. He's not a good captain at all. He's just not.
Who do you give it to?
Anybody else. Diaz is a better leader than him. Kevin De Bruyne, should he stay? Because we had the discussion yesterday. He's a better choice for captain. I'd even put Rodri ahead of him. Like, there are players in this squad that I have more faith in as a captain and as a leader. Of course, Kyle Walker will still be in the leadership group. I'm not saying, kick him out of everything. But he cannot be the captain, the club captain. He cannot be the one wearing the armband. It's just... It can't happen, because then you're almost putting pressure on yourself to have him start. I think that's why he's played why early in the season Pep stuck with him so much. Because, he's been very good for Pep over the years, but he was the club captain. It's very hard to not play your club captain. It's very hard to go, I know you're the captain, but you dropped. You know what I mean? So I'd take the captaincy off him if he's going to stay. I really would. I don't think he's a good captain. I just don't think he's got the minerals to be a captain. He doesn't strike me as, a great leader, like a Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz is a natural leader. When you talk about leadership qualities, Ruben Diaz is one of the younger players in our squad. He's got natural leadership abilities. Kyle Walker doesn't. This is a simple fact.
Yeah, I don't think he's handled it well, the captaincy side of things. Maybe it's just all coincidence to do with his life issues. But, when you're the captain of Manchester City, you have extra responsibilities that you have to take. So Ferland Mendy, I don't see it happening. I don't see Ferland Mendy coming to Manchester City. And then let's move on to the midfield side of things. We're going to have a good discussion about this and throw out names that we would like in the midfield. I said before the stream that there's one name I really want. I think he's potentially gettable. It's difficult. I said on an LB stream earlier on, and LB was like, maybe. I think it'll be difficult, but I think it is potentially doable. I'm gonna ask you to guess, Joe, and chat. Number 6.
He asked me to. He told me this before we went live. He's got a player that we haven't been linked with at all whatsoever, that he thinks that we should be trying to sign. That he'd really like us to sign, and I have not a fucking Scooby-Doo who he's on about. Because if we've not been linked, I really don't know. And he's saying he's gettable. I'm just absolutely baffled. I was in Puneet said Chouameni, he's just not gettable at all whatsoever in my mind. Gettable, who we've not been linked with. So it can't be Kimmich because we've been linked to him. It can't be Bruno because we've been linked to him. Damn. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You've already said him.
It's not Chouameni, is it?
It's Chouameni.
Oh my god. He's just not gettable, surely. Surely he's not gettable. How is he gettable? Right, explain to me, is it his contract? What have you seen that's made you think that he is an obtainable signing?
Right, okay, let me try and word this correctly, okay? I'm gonna get his contract up here. I know he's on a big contract, or like a long-term contract at Real Madrid, but there is method to my madness.
Because I can't disagree with you and say that we shouldn't sign him, because I think he's a good player and I would happily take him. But right, I want to know how it's feasible.
He's on €240,000 a week. So you're looking at in the region of 210, 215,000 pounds a week. His contract expires in 2028. He has no release clause, but I don't see where he gets football. I don't see where he gets a huge amount of football. They still have Kroos, they still have Modric, they have Valverde, they have Camavinga, they have Jude Bellingham. I just don't see where Tchouaméni gets a huge amount of football. I think we could get Tchouaméni, play him in essentially that role that we were all talking about for Declan Rice last year. We were all talking about if Rice comes in, he'll play beside Rodri, but as a slightly more advanced version. He'll do more of the advancing of the pitch. Tchouaméni has plenty of experience as a number 8, plenty of experience as a centre half. He's a Pep player by all accounts, really versatile. He's experienced now. He's a winner, French international. I think if we tested the waters with Tchouaméni, I think he'd be kind of like, because he's not, as it stands, he's not going to get all the starting football he wants at Real Madrid. He's not. Looking towards next season, and you have no doubt they're going to sign more. You've absolutely no doubt. If they go and get Bernardo Silva as well, add another midfielder in there. Where is Tchouaméni guaranteed to start?
I suppose there is slight method to the madness. The one thing I would say, it's not. the one thing I would say is that he played centre back against us. There's a good chance that could be his position going forward, because I don't really see. I mean, I know they've had a lot of centre back injuries. Militao's been out for pretty much the entire year. Alaba's out for the rest of the season. Or at least I think it's the rest of the season. So he's been playing a lot in centre-back because of needs must. He's not really seen too much midfield time, and that is obviously without potential Bernardo Silva. That is obviously factoring in the signings that Real Madrid are supposed to be making here. You look at Mbappe. Jude Bellingham's currently playing as a false 9 for Real Madrid. That's basically what they're doing, isn't it? Playing Bellingham as a false 9. Mbappe comes in, he goes up front. Bellingham goes into midfield. Who are the other two? Valverde is probably one of them. And if not, is he gettable? Is he a gettable player as well? Just looking at, just squad makeup and that. But if not, you're looking at Bellingham, Valverde, +1. If they're going to obviously keep Ferland Mendy, because I don't think we're going to sign him, he's at left back. There's been a lot of talk of Real Madrid trying to sign Alphonso Davies from Bayern Munich. If they sign him, that's 2 left backs. That means Camavinga's not going to play much left back. Does that mean Camavinga goes into midfield? Still got Kroos and Modric at that point as well. A lot of competition. Be interesting to see how it's managed. Of course, Real Madrid play in multiple competitions, so it's not like there's a lack of minutes. It's not like he's never going to play. But for the last couple of seasons, he's kind of started a lot of games. And you're looking at next season and the signings, and, if they're going to keep Kroos and Modric around for another few years, Modric being that bench option, there's a realistic chance that he doesn't start. Or at least he doesn't start for, periods in the season. You never know what can happen with injuries and stuff like that. So you can never say he's not going to be one of the first names on the team sheet. But I'm looking at, even if you take Modric and Kroos out of the equation, because they're old and they're probably not going to be there for 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. You've still got Bellingham, Valverde, Tchouaméni and Camavinga to try and fit in a midfield 3. So one of them's not going to play.
And maybe Bernardo.
And maybe Bernardo if they sign him. So that's 5. And one of them, and if Bernardo signs 2 of them, aren't going to play. Or aren't going to start. Not going to be first choice. Bellingham's first choice because he's their Galactico signing. He is there, up and coming. So he's guaranteed to start. And then there are 2 more spots in midfield.
Telling you, mate, Tchouaméni, there's possibility. I'm telling you, there's possibility to Tchouaméni. If Man City tests the waters, we could make Tchouaméni happen if we went about it the right way. Guys, we're on 42 likes, 70 people in the building. Let's hit 8 more likes. 8 people is all we need to hit 50 likes on the stream. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Massively appreciate all of you. And there's a link there in the chat if anybody wants to help support me and Joe become a channel member. I'm a massive fan of Tchouaméni. I'm a massive fan of Tchouaméni. He's young. I mean, what exact age is he here? He's doesn't even say his full age, is it? Oh, I have it here. Tchouaméni he's 24, same age as me. He's a young guy, a lot of experience already for his age. I think him beside Rodri, Foden or De Bruyne in front, that is a scary ass midfield, man. Tchouaméni, like so far this season, he's played 35 games in all comps. So he's played a lot of football for Real Madrid. 25 times as a DM and 10 times as a centre half. Pep would love that, man. Pep would love that. He'd be a bad boy for us, Tchouaméni. Absolute
Gives us
bad
cover.
boy.
Gives us a lot of cover with.
He's the next best thing to Declan Rice that we didn't get. Do you know what I mean? He's the next name on the list down from Declan Rice. We wanted Declan Rice last summer. We know we wanted Declan Rice. We know we tried to get Declan Rice, but he had Arsenal on his brain. That's fair enough. If you just want Arsenal, fair enough, go to Arsenal. But the next one down after that can do everything Declan Rice can do, and maybe more as time goes on, is Tchouaméni.
I mean,
Elder, Elder might be saying some facts there in the chat.
I don't think he's better than Rice.
Elder might be talking facts, is all I'm saying, man. Elder might be...
Listen. I don't think he's better than... I don't think he's better than Rice, right? But, again, it gives us cover because, I mean, we've got two conundrums. One is, how the hell do we, like, save Rodri from his, like, penitentiary of having to play every single game every season? And the second one is, what the hell do we do when John Stones gets injured every season? Tchouaméni fits, the mold because he can play next to Rodri, play instead of Rodri, could play instead of John Stones. Rodri could play instead of John Stones. Rodri can do the John Stones role, but we've got no one to do the Rodri role, so we're kind of stuck there at the moment, which is why we need to sign someone. Tchouaméni fits that mold. Declan Rice was obviously the perfect option. Like, John Stones being injured definitely would have played that role when Rodri got suspended. You got Declan Rice. He was the signing that really... Like, he was the one, really, wasn't he? But Tchouaméni's not the most... You know what? It's not the most outrageous shout I've heard. I've heard worse.
I'm kind of feeling the Tchouaméni hype train right now, Tchouaméni...
Hypotheticals, because we've not been linked to him, like, once, ever.
Trust a girl to turn up as soon as I say Tchouaméni. I'm going to put it out there. I don't think it's outrageous to say Tchouaméni's better than Rice. I don't think it's outrageous. Tchouaméni's been playing at a higher level for longer than Declan Rice. Bear in mind, this is Declan Rice's first season at the top level. Tchouaméni's all I'm saying. Goals for France. Big man, big dog at the France team. You know what I'm saying? Big dog at Real Madrid. Champions League semi-finalist now, Real Madrid. Tchouaméni boy. Telling you, get him in. Bring him to me. What was it Scottie Pippen did with the shoe? Do you remember that one?
He's quoting the Last Dance documentary. He's absolutely obsessed with Michael Jordan. He loves his shoes.
Tchouaméni, man. Put Tchouaméni beside fucking Rodri, in behind De Bruyne or Foden. Oi. Tell you what, chat, man. Difficult conversations. And if Real Madrid go on to win the Champions League this year with Tchouaméni playing as a centre half, don't talk to me. At that point, don't talk to me. He's already a Champions League winner, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been at Real Madrid.
How long is he at Real Madrid now? Is it 2 years?
A few years. He's been in there a couple, and remember they won it before we did. The year before we did, they won it.
Yeah, but was he still in France at that point? Because I remember Liverpool wanted to sign him.
No. He was definitely. I'm telling you now, he's at Real Madrid. He's a Champions League winner.
Joined them last season. Yeah, I knew it. Sad that he joined them last season. He hasn't been around for that long. Yeah,
he's not a Champions League winner. I thought he's been there for at least a couple of years. Maybe it's not as gettable as I thought then. That's mad.
Yeah, exactly. Milder Marsac says he was at Monaco. Liverpool were trying to sign Tchouaméni, but obviously Real Madrid step in and say, no, you Scousers, you're not having him.
Everything at that club's going wrong, isn't it? Every time I see that, what is it, Anfield Edition or Anfield Report or whatever it is on Twitter, saying that they've 100%, they've got their man, ends up turning them down. Said it with Bellingham, went to Madrid. Said it with Alonso, he's staying at Leverkusen. Said it with Amorim, he's going to West Ham. And they
Sad's coming in with the ball knowledge. Wasn't it after the final they signed? Exactly. It was after the final they signed Tchouaméni. He wasn't. He's not there since he was like 19, Joe. He came in at like 23.
I know he wasn't.
22.
I know he wasn't there since he was 19, but I could swear this is not his first, like his second season. I could have sworn he's done more than that. But he moved.
Guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button for True Many. Hit the like button for True Many, guys. And subscribe if you're new around here. Big up a girl, by the way, man. Good to see our channel members. Rebel. Who else is here? The channel member. Punit's channel member. Who else? Briggsy was here as channel member. Become a channel member, guys. Join the Big Dogs Club. Join the prestigious army that is the HMTV army of ball knowledge. If you have ball knowledge, you become channel member.
That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not a channel member in it. I don't have ball knowledge. I didn't know Tchouaméni was not at Real Madrid for that long. But anyway, Tiki, if you're watching, yeah, if you're gonna leave in 2025, do us a favour. One more present before you leave. I can't be out the door.
Too many. That would be a good present, wouldn't it?
Yeah, be a great present. Imagine he leaves, he just drops a bomb. Just an absolute transfer bomb.
I'm off. Here's too many.
Just out of nowhere. Listen, lads, I'm leaving. But before I go, welcome your new signing. Like, unreal.
I'm fully on board the too many hype train. I've gassed myself up in the last 10-15 minutes. I've just gassed myself up on this too many thing, but it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. At least I don't think so. But we don't know. We don't know. Shouldn't Joe be on the HMTV profile picture? If he wants, he can put himself on. But I don't think it's the kind of thing he's into. Really, is it, Joe?
No, my face is nowhere. Apart from here.
He's no face, no case. He's no face, no case. 100 likes on me sign too many. Get to 100 likes on my sign too many. Maybe. Right, Joe, I've thrown out a name, a far-field name. We all know, like, look, we'll do the Bruno Guimaraes. Both Arsenal and City want Bruno Guimaraes, or they're in the race for him, I suppose. They've made contact with him. But have you got any left field names, kind of names that, you know, they're like too many. Do you know what I mean? You know, they're good players. We've not really been linked with them, or we haven't been linked with them at all. But you think, you know what, he's the guy. I think too many is the perfect answer for that kind of question.
Yeah, I to be honest, I don't really have any left field names simply because you've put me on the spot and I don't know time to think about it. I'm not very good at doing on the spot things, but if I guess I know I really don't have any shouts. I really don't. That we haven't, because it has to be someone that we haven't been linked to, and I'm just not very good at like picking out players.
Chat will. We'll have Vitinha. Yeah. Vitinha at PSG.
I don't think he's a 6. Midfield player, yes, but I don't think, like, if we're talking about getting someone to help Rodri out, I don't think Vitinha's an answer for that. I don't think he's the right position. I mean, yeah, I really, really don't have like an out there shout. Like an out there one. I have, obviously, a few players that I can think of. Was there not... I forgot the name of. I forgot his name, right? And we were linked to him, but it was ages ago. It was in the Club World Cup. It was Brazilian midfield. I think Liverpool were linked to him as well. He had like a. It was one of them ones where he only has one name. It's like Andre or something. I think. I don't know.
Oh, is it Andre?
I think that was his name, but I can't remember. Anyway, he played for. I think it was for the Fluminense because we played them, and he was like 23 and Brazilian, and he was a 6. And we were linked to him, and Liverpool were linked to him. That's the only one that's like out there that I can remember. I can't even remember how good he is. Like I can't remember how good he was, but that's like the most out there that I've got because I just can't think of like option. Like there are the good options I can think of. Everybody's kind of said like in terms of not being linked. Palhinha from Fulham is a very good shout, but everybody keeps saying about him. We've not been linked, but everybody goes on about him.
Chat, there's 70 people in the building. First of all, hit the like button. Second, start throwing some left field names. It doesn't have to be people we've actually been linked with. Just get the conversation in. Get your say in, man. Give me some names. I've thrown too many out there. I've thrown my 2 pence in. I told you I want too many, but we ain't gonna get too many. Tell me who you want, but we can't get. Who would you want in an ideal world? In any club, any team, any player in the whole world, name it. Stick it out there. I want to hear what you have to say. Pavlovic, there's a big one. Edison Alvarez from West Ham, there's a good one. See, these are all good ones, Joe. These are interesting.
Do you know who I like? And I haven't watched him too much because I don't watch Everton, but Onana for Everton.
Oh, you are crazy. You are crazy.
Strikes me as
sick in the
maybe a
head.
potential player. I don't know.
He's useless. He's so
I
bad.
have to watch more because I've watched Everton about twice, and all he does is he flings himself about into challenges. He's just big.
No, he's a headless chicken. That guy. He's crazy. He's crazy.
He's just bit. I saw him and I'm like, oh, I took one look at him. I'm like, fuck me, he's massive.
Nah, that João Neves guy. LB was speaking a lot about him earlier on. He's a big fan of him. João Neves at Benfica. He's 19, rated very highly. But things I said this on LB show earlier on. Look, being highly rated at Benfica, it's great, and sometimes the players work out fantastic. Remember how highly rated Darwin Núñez was at Benfica? Scored something like 33 goals in the season before he arrived to Liverpool. They thought they were getting their Uruguayan Haaland, and look how he turned out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at 19,
Who's that one guy at Wolves? Sorry to cut across. Who's that one guy at Wolves that I've seen thrown about as well? Is his name not João something? There's a guy at Wolves who plays as a 6. I don't remember if I can find him.
someone will know.
João Gomez. João Gomez. Not Aitnuri, he's a left back. João Gomez plays in midfield for Wolves. I've seen people throw his name about. I've not noticed, like, I don't pay attention to what I don't watch Wolves. I think the first time I watched Wolves, apart from, our game against Wolves, was Arsenal when they beat them. João Gomez for Wolves, potentially. Again, these are just names that I'm seeing. I don't have any left field shouts, personally. The person who said get Edson Alvarez from West Ham, don't know where that one's come from. I think he's all right. He's anything special, though.
Interesting shout, though. That's what I want. I want interesting shouts. I want you guys to come in with your interesting shouts. Kefram Turam, not mad about him. The Citizen, not mad about him. Barella, I like Barella, but he's the Inter Milan guy, isn't he? He just won Serie A, so I can't.
Not really
imagine.
a 6 either, is he? He's a bit lightweight, a bit small. And there's a danger of signing someone from Serie A that they just don't adapt well to the Premier League.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not specifically looking for 6s. We're looking for players who could potentially be molded into a 6. Like we saw with Paqueta, that they believe with coaching he could play in a deeper role as well. Bruno G, likewise. So that's kind of that umbrella of midfielders that we're talking about. 6s are rare, Elias. Exactly, man. Like a 6 specialist who's just an out-and-out 6. They're hard to come by. High-level 6s are hard to come by these days, man. There's not many of them out there where you'd say,
Where's Piplup when you need him? He'd be listing off about 7 academy players who can play there by now.
He's a big Jacob Wright fan. Tonali. We're already interested in one better, man. We don't need apparently Tonali's going to get hit with more. Do you hear about this?
Yeah, because his 10 months that he's serving now was from the Italian FA. So he got banned for that. Turns out when he came to England, he was still betting or still, breaching some gambling rules. So the English FA are now investigating him for even more breaches. So he could be suspended again by the English FA.
What is wrong with him, man?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
I don't know. It's a bit strange.
Just one of the few things that you just don't do is bet. Now, look, if he has an issue and he needs help and he has an addiction, he needs all the help he can get, and they should support him. And I imagine they are supporting him. But how do you even start off that? Like, do you think about the millions of people out there who would kill to be a professional footballer, and you're just told, just don't gamble. Just don't gamble. I don't know, man. Look, if he's struggling, hopefully he's getting the help. But man, he sounds like he's got a real problem. Look, I like a bit of gambling myself here and there. I'm going to do a bet for Arsenal, Chelsea tonight and that. But I don't play for Newcastle, and I definitely didn't play for AC Milan.
We're on Bet Watch tonight, seeing if Izaka comes in.
Tell you what, we're doing a watch along tonight for Arsenal Chelsea, by the way, people. So do join us for that. I'll pick my bets live. And you guys can help me pick what I should get, because I just lose whenever I do it my own. So you guys can give me a hand with that. I only put like £2 on here and there. Like, I'm not one of these high stakes, chasing my losses. I just like the odd bet here and there. Do you know what I mean? I sound like such a knobhead right now. Right, let's keep it stepping. People. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Become a channel member. It's what the big dogs do. See a Gur, Rebel, Herbal. They're channel members. Big dogs they are, man. They're big dogs. Part of the army. Part of the movement. This is a movement. Channel members are part of the movement over here. Yeah? It's a serious community for prestigious people. That's what channel members are. Serious, prestigious people. Right, let's keep it stepping. Bruno G. So we've done our left field names. We've done our names that we probably ain't going to get, but we would love. I think there is a possibility for too many. I think if City opened it up, opened the can of worms, maybe, but it's highly unlikely. Bruno G is very likely. Newcastle need funds, man. They're being absolutely shagged by FFP and PRI and PRA and SFA and all the letters under the sun that are involved in these sort of things. Arsenal are involved. But what do Arsenal want them for? What do Arsenal want from Bruno G? Like, what do they need out of him? They have Rice, they have Partey, they have Odegaard, they have Havertz, they have Smith Rowe, they have who? Like, where is he? What's happening there? What are Arsenal going to get from him?
It's to stop us, because they look at our situation as well and go, you got Rodri, you got Kevin De Bruyne, you got Phil Foden, still currently have Bernardo Silva, and you want to sign Paqueta, can't allow him to go and get Bruno G. Not a chance.
What the fuck? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, where's he going? He's not going to play for you that much, is he? Like, he surely picks City over Arsenal.
Well, they'd argue the same thing with us because of our midfield names, but of course we'd argue back that Bernardo Silva may potentially be going. Kevin De Bruyne is like, you're lucky if you can get an hour out of him, before he ends up gassing out. And, we can argue this, and Arsenal fans will probably argue, well, Havertz is playing up front, he's not a midfield player, and their midfield three is Jorginho, Rice, and Odegaard. He'd play ahead of Jorginho, and that's what they'd argue. So there's arguments both sides, but in terms of what I think the hierarchies of both clubs will probably be looking at here is just don't let the other guy get them. Just just don't let the other person get him. It's a situation where it's sort of similar to when United went and signed Ronaldo that second time. It was just don't let, because it didn't work out at Man United, did it? It really didn't, with the way that it went down over there and the way he left and everything like that, and where they ended up in the table. But, of course, that one probably won't end up like this, because, Bruno's a good player, but it's a similar situation of it was just don't let them get him. Whatever you do, it can't happen. You can't let him get a player like that.
B has sent in his list of CDMs you would like. So give your thoughts on this, Joe. Number 1, Kimmich. Number 2, Douglas Luiz. Number 3, Bruno G. Number 4, Palhinha. 5, John Neves. 6, Zubamendi as an interesting shout. And then Palacios at Leverkusen. People in the chat saying they like Zubamendi. I don't know about the guy.
He plays for Sociedad, I think, in Spain. Heard a couple of things. I've never watched him kick a ball, though, so I'm not going to pretend like I know much. I know he's a 6, but that's kind of like as much as I know. I don't know even his age, his contract, how good he is, how good he may potentially be. I don't really know.
I think I've heard Turkish talking about him. I think Turkish has mentioned him once or twice in relation to Arsenal. Go get Zubamendi, man. Go and get Zubamendi. Like,
that's
leave
a
us
good list.
If we want Bruno G. I think Rebel. Yeah. I mean, Rebel makes a good point. If City let you take a player, then we didn't really want him that much. I think if City really want anyone, we can get anyone within reason. Okay, we're not talking about like Mbappe and Vinny's and these kind of people, but like anyone within reason. I think if we want someone bad enough, we can get them. I think that's facts.
Yeah, I mean that's around what my list would look like. I think potentially swap Bruno and Douglas Luiz around, maybe. I don't really know. They're kind of interchangeable for me. Kimmich is kind of my number 1 given the circumstances. I don't think he's like my number 1 in terms of what I'd want in a player, but there's a potential that with what's going down at Bayern and nobody really kind of knowing exactly who their manager's going to be and what promises they're going to be brought, he could be cheap. And if he's cheap, he's still a very good player. And again, if he's cheap, versatile, Pep's worked with him before. Like, he's probably kind of the number 1 option if you're taking into account all things. I really like Douglas Luiz. I didn't really want us to sell him when we had him in the first place, but of course we had work permit issues, so we had to get rid of him. But I kind of feel like Douglas Luiz, I think he's one of the captains at Aston Villa as well. And Villa being a European club, potential Champions League football, could demand an arm and a leg. We know that Bruno G has a release clause of 100 million, so again, arm and a leg. Palhinha is a very safe option. it's a pretty good option as well. But we've not really been linked. And then the thing with João Neves and Zubimendi is people keep throwing the names about, but we just haven't been linked. They're not like the most expensive options, but you know, is there really anything to read into if you don't really hear their names branded about? I'd personally like any of the first 4 in that list. I would personally take. I don't think any of them are bad signings.
I think Kimmich is the one, man. Kimmich is the one that we can all agree on. Probably, you know, the shoe fits best in terms of City for Joshua Kimmich. So yeah, Agurta, so you didn't want Declan Rice. We didn't push that hard for Declan Rice. I think we wanted him. We definitely wanted him, but we didn't pull out all the stops. Arsenal were willing to go the extra mile that we weren't willing to go for Declan Rice. I think that's quite clear.
We stopped our Declan Rice pursuit because he told us that he preferred Arsenal. So we stopped.
Yeah.
We didn't give it our all, because if a player says, if out of both of these clubs I'd rather go to the other one, City aren't going to get in a bidding war and try and one-up Arsenal and try and sign him by offering more money and this and that. They're going to get on with their day and find someone else.
I think if we really, really wanted him, we might have. But we obviously decided that we didn't really, really want him. And if he's just genuinely more interested in going to Arsenal, work away, mate. Work away. Happened Jorginho too. We were too late in the transfer. Yeah, I think he'd made his mind up. I think he'd probably given verbal agreement of some sort to Arsenal by the time we had joined the race. We joined the Declan Rice race very, very late. We were very, very late. Arsenal had been working on that deal for a long, long time. I think it's more so, my point is that when we decide we really want someone, we go in early for them, we show them we really want them, we offer them the money, we offer them this, that, the other, whatever. That's more what I'm talking about. That I think if we really want someone, we'll pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
We didn't pull out all the stops for Rice.
Yeah. Because like the why we went for Rice is because Arsenal were trying for so long and haggling over bonuses, installments, add-ons. West Ham had a price. Arsenal were trying to lowball and see how much they could realistically get him for, how much they could get off. So City went and looked at that and went, we could probably do with a player in his position. Let's just try our hand. But by that point, again, like you said, because Arsenal had been working on it for so long, Rice had already made he was in his head, he already wanted Arsenal. So we went, right, we tried, we put in an offer. He told us that he wanted to go to Arsenal. We got on with our day. Like, again, if we wanted it, we would have tried. If we really, really wanted it, if we were desperate, we would have done more. But it was just Arsenal are haggling. Let's see if we can try and backdoor it.
We got to pull out all the stops this summer, man. We got to pull out all the stops this summer to get someone big. I want a Bruno. I want a Kimmich. I want Tchouaméni. Give me someone, man. Give me someone that, you know, is a right here, right now. No more of this project stuff. No more of this buying potential. No more of this, you know, he's 21, he's 19, and he's going to be class in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time. I want right here, right now players. I'm adamant. I want right here, right now. Proven quality coming in to facilitate and help with players who need rest, bring impact off the bench, start games when needs be. That's where I'm at, man. In my opinion, last summer the transfer window failed us. It did. If we go on to win the league this season after letting go Mahrez and Gundo and not replacing them sufficiently with Kovacic and Doku, so on and so forth, it's achievement, and it's we were let off the hook. We've been let off the hook. It's a massive failure on behalf of Arsenal, in my opinion. I think Arsenal were most primed to win the league this season. They were most primed. They've done the most efficient business over the last few years. They were most primed to win the league. I think I said it from the beginning. Arsenal must, and I still say Arsenal must. So tonight we will be there. We are doing a full-blown hate-along at 7:30 tonight, full of hatred with every venom in my bone. Full hatred for that tonight. Oh, hey, there he is now. Big up Piplup, man. We were just talking about you a few minutes ago. We were wondering where you'd got off to. He says, can't believe now, Hugh now. No, Piplup.
List. Another one. That's the DJ Khaled. Another one.
Another one. Good to see you, Piplup. I don't hate Bruno. I don't hate Yaya. I don't hate Sterling. I don't hate Jacob Wright. I don't hate Gundo. I don't hate Pep. I don't hate you. I don't hate Joe. I don't hate anyone. I'm not a hate-filled person. I'm not a
He hates Rory Jennings. He hates Rory Jennings. Don't like him.
Hate Mark Goldbridge. I hate Mark Goldbridge.
I think
that guy's a fucking
all of us hate him. Even United fans hate that guy.
Yeah, I hate that guy, man. I can't stand him. Waffler. He's disrespectful to Saeed, and Saeed's my brother. He's disrespectful to Man City. He's disrespectful to a lot of people. I think he's in it for himself. He's a selfish wanker who uses my club for clickbait. Yeah, so he can go fuck himself anyway. People
Yeah, is that it? You slandering? You slandering now?
no, Piplup, no. What was I talking about? Yeah, Arsenal. We're doing a watch along tonight for Arsenal because they must. Ugur says, question 2 years ago, was we challengers to the throne? I don't care what you were 2 years ago. It's what you are right now. It's what you were last season to right now, Ugur. This is the season where I felt you must. City didn't do sufficient business. City have just won a treble and 3 in a row. There was very little pressure on Manchester City to continue and sustain. You can't say to Manchester City, because we didn't win a 4th in a row, that we're a massive disgrace and we're a massive failure. When this ravenous, hungry, money pumped, of course, we're all money pumped, but Arsenal have pumped a load of money to get to where they are right now, shouldn't be dethroning us or going a long way to dethroning us. Arsenal, man, there's fucking pressure on Arsenal. They're happy to tell us how great they are, how great all their players are, how great what they've built is, how much of a pulling power they have. They're happy to tell us how great they are. And I respect plenty of what Arsenal have done. But when you finally say to them, right, you need to go and win something now, they go, whoa. Where's this pressure come from? From you. From you at home.
I mean, the stats and just the online noise is just unbearable. Like, they have.
Can I just cut across you? I do want to reiterate, Gerd, I don't mean you specifically, and I don't mean Turkish specifically. We have this argument in the Big Six. When I'm addressing my thoughts on Arsenal, it's a large part of your noisy fan base. I know plenty of decent Arsenal fans like yourself and Turkish who are level-headed. You read the game well, and you understand the situations and the context quite well. But there's a lot of Arsenal fans who are just yappa, and then you tell them, right, let's put this yappa into trophies. They go, whoa. Who said anything about trophies? No, sorry. Go on, Joe.
I mean, the guy says here we must in either this season or next season maximum get to a major. But this team came out of nowhere to challenge this hard though. But I said a few streams ago that, in my opinion, the state that Arsenal are in now, they had to win at least a cup. You know, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, you know, Carling Cup, Milk Cup, you know, Tea Cup, don't matter. They had to win a cup this season. They had to win something, and the amount of money they spent. 2 big major signings. Declan Rice, over 100 million, triple-digit millions, right? Kai Havertz, Champions League final winning goal scorer. What was he, 60 million? He's the highest earner at the club. 2 big signings. They had to make the next step. The next step, which was from last season being top for 200 and something days, wasn't to win the Premier League. That's not, of course, that is, you know, the big next step. But the next step after what they did last season, because last season what they did is they proved they can compete. They proved they're a good side, and they proved they're one of the top sides. They have the makeup of a squad that can win trophies. What they needed to do this season was win something. Win a trophy. Mm-hmm. Not Community Shield, doesn't count. It's not a trophy. They needed to win a cup this season.
Preach.
And then after that, they need to go on next season, and that's where they need to start properly going for the majors. I think, having been top for as long as they were last season, if within 2 years they hasn't, you know, won the Premier League or, you know, got close to even a Champions League final, well, good enough. You can't keep pumping money at the problem. You know, Pep, what did Pep do when he came in? You can make the argument that a lot of people make the argument that he's a checkbook manager, but first season takes over terrible squad. It was, I saw the screenshot the other day. It was like the 3rd oldest squad in the Premier League, just about scraped 4th. And Pep just about scraped Champions League football in his first season. And there was a lot of questions after that first season of people going like, is his football going to suit? You know, he's going to have to change. He can't play this tiki-taka style. What did he do the next season? Got 100 points. Blew the Premier League out of the water. So...
No phase 1, no phase 2, no phase 3, no phase 4, no phase 5. It was stand up, smell the coffee, face the reality. You must win. You must win. You're brought in to win. Arteta was brought in to win. He was brought in to build. He's built. Brought in to be given money and buy good players. He's done so. Now you must win. I felt this season Arsenal must win. I said it's first Big Six show of the season. Pressure on Arsenal. I'm saying it now. Pressure on Arsenal. Embrace it though. Arsenal fans, I don't know why they shirk the pressure so much. I don't mind saying it when City must win. I don't mind saying it when people tell us, oh, you should win, you should win, you should win. I'm fine with that. We've been dealing with that since Pep arrived. This is nothing new to me. I'm grey as it is. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's new for me, man. But embrace it, man. I don't know why the Arsenal fans are so afraid of it. It's like the Liverpool fans. Well,
we embrace the moment, don't we? We embrace the moment. We go for it. We know we're under pressure. We've been favourites for every competition for the last 5 years.
Yeah, facts. It's just I don't mind people saying, oh, but maybe we're not ready for it. If you're like, okay, maybe we're not ready for it, or we're not good enough here, we're not good enough there, whatever, fair enough, you can have that conversation, but don't turn around to me and start telling me how much better your players are than ours, or how much better what you're doing, and you have more belief, and you have more of this and you have more of that, and then as soon as you drop points, go, it's done. That was another one. Leaving the stadium with 10 minutes to go because you're losing, that was another one. And then all of a sudden someone tells you, oh, well, that's not good. You go, oh, well, we weren't expected to. No, you were expected to. There's pressure on Arsenal. If you want to sit with the big dogs at the big table, you have to embrace the big dog pressure and the big dog responsibility. That's just fact. That's just fact. If Arteta does not win a league this season or next season, he should be sacked. He should be sacked. Because that'll be, 6 years of throwing money at it and nothing to show for it other than Unai Emery's cup team. That he should be sacked. It's failure. And once you admit that that's failure, we're on the same page. If Pep had gone 5 years or 4 years, right? What's Arteta had now? 4 years. If Pep had gone his first 4 years at Man City without winning anything other than an FA Cup, I'd say he's failing. I would. Absolutely would. If the next manager comes in and wins nothing for 4 or 5 years, I'll say he's failing. Do you know what I mean? We've set standards now at this club where we expect to be challenging. We expect to be, winning silverware consistently. Even when Pep's gone, I still trust the board that we have and the people in place running the club to keep us in a position where we can at least challenge and bring silverware home. I'd say we're failing. Right now, Arteta is failing. But he can rectify that by winning a league this season, or a league or a Champions League next season. He's on fraud watch, is what he is for me. He's on fraud watch.
But he's got a big. I mean, that's the biggest thing, and that's the biggest black mark on his CV, on his resume. The only cup, the only trophy that he's won in the season was an FA Cup that wasn't even with his team. Like, how many of them players are still there? How many of them players did he boot out of the door and go, you're not good enough, I need better? So the only trophy he's won at Arsenal wasn't even with his squad. His squad that he's built now was not anywhere remotely near that team that won the FA Cup. So again, the only success he's had as an Arsenal manager is with a different manager's squad, which is probably the worst thing about all this Arteta stuff. Is yes, he has won a trophy. You can't take that away from him, but it was very much not really a lot to do with him. He had he had an FA Cup semi-final. Granted, he was against us and he beat us, and he won the final. Still have to go and do that. But he didn't go on a massive FA Cup run, and he didn't do it with his players. He's now got his players in. He's not. Has he touched Wembley? I don't think he has. Like, he hasn't got there again. Like, I don't think so, to my knowledge. So, I mean, look, you can't ignore the truth. You can't be loud and not expect us to go where you have to win something. You can't ignore the fact that statistically in the Premier League, you have the best defence and the best attack. You've scored the most. You've conceded the least. So statistically, at both ends of the pitch, you're performing better than everybody else. And we're having better Big Six record. You're performing better than we are. At the moment, we look lost at times. We've been so inconsistent in terms of, conceding stupid goals, not scoring enough goals at times. Any City fan will tell you that we've been unbeaten this calendar year, but it's not been a comfortable unbeaten this calendar year because some of the performances have just been so off it. Like, we're not playing well. This is a down year. But I see Arsenal fans going, please, Pep, can you just have one down year? This is a down year. This is what we classify under Pep Guardiola. This is what we classify as a down year, where we seem like we're struggling to go through games, even though we haven't lost in a while. We're not winning comfortably. The results aren't like the performances aren't great. So this is our down year. Klopp is on a downward spiral. He's tired. He's leaving at the end of the season. You know, this is Arsenal's chance. Statistically, you're the best, and obviously the things that you hear online on social media, they are the best. They have the best centre-back pairing in the league. I have no doubt, defensively, they have the best record in the league. Unprove it. Unprove that you can lock teams down and, you know, you can go unbeaten and finish the season. Don't go and prove that. Don't. You can't say you got the best. No, but it's true, innit? You can't say. You cannot say Saliba and Gabriel is the best centre-back partnership in Europe and not expect rival fans to hold you accountable for that and have high expectations for that. That's what we do with us. When we say we've got good players, everybody always beats us with the stick that, you know, you got both sides of the coin, don't you? You got the people who say we have two £50 million players in every position, and you got the people who say all our players are rubbish, our players are better than yours. We embrace that pressure. We big up our players. We hold them to high standards. We hold our team to high standards. When we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, we did a watch-along for that. Were either of us happy? Yeah, we were like, okay, we got the result. Yeah, like I'm happy enough that we've got to an FA Cup final and we could win a trophy. But in terms of was I happy with that game? Absolutely not. I don't care if we won. Like, this is in terms of standards. The standards we've got right now are astronomically high, and I don't know why Arsenal's aren't high as well. You saw what you did last season. You came close. You saw what you did this season as well. You did at one stage with, 8 games left to go? Have it in your hands. So hold yourself accountable to them standards. Again, you can't be all bark and no bite. You got to go for it. You got to send it. If you're good, you're good. You just got to, you just got to deep it when it goes wrong. Liverpool have done that. Liverpool have been bitten in the arse. How many times have we beaten them by a point to the league? And it's just bitten them in the arse, and they've just had to firm it. They just have to go, well, here's what it is.
All facts, no fiction spoken right there, people. Make sure you hit the like button, chat, man, and subscribe if you're new. And a quick reminder, if you're a big dog, if you're a big bastard like me, you become a channel member, man. Channel members is a prestigious club for prestigious people like a Gerd, who else there, Bree. Our channel members are prestigious people. We are an army, we are a movement. Become a channel member and join the movement, people. Big up Pipple up with the £2. Says Neil Warnock would have won a trophy with Arsenal. Tell you, man, you give Carlo Ancelotti, you give Zidane, you give... Yeah, let's stick with Ancelotti or Zidane. Either of them, this Arsenal squad, they win. They win. They win. That's facts. They win. Neil Warnock, Pipple up? I'm not so sure. And before you start sending more super chats, I don't hate Neil Warnock. I don't hate Neil Warnock.
I like Neil Warnock. I think he's funny.
Yeah, I like Neil Warnock. Big up Alec in the chat. Big up Randell Shaw. What's up? Good to see you. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you're all subscribed, man. Yeah, so listen, that's kind of it, man. We're live again in about an hour and a half for Arsenal-Chelsea watch-along, hate-along. Hate-along. Yeah, it's a hate-along. Big up Tyrone Douglas and MCE TV. We're back at 7:30. Do join us, man. Do come in and join us. We're going to pick up this conversation at 7:30. We'll look at the team sheets. I'll make my bet. You guys can join me in my bet. Warnock has more experience than Arteta. He does, to be fair. But yeah, listen, 7:30, Chelsea versus Arsenal watch along, and yeah, man, we'll see you then. Hit the like button your way out, subscribe if you're new, and become a channel member, man, like a big dog. Wrap her up, Joe, in a bit, people. Come on, Josie.
Listen to your heart, tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand.